Cool. Oh, this works. I can see both from here. All right. Let me look at my Chart Addicts members. We got Two Step George in the house. We got Bianca, of course. Good morning. Bobby, my boy. Bryce holding it down. Oh, quick reminders, y'all. December 3rd through the 6th is the next NAS100 masterclass. If you guys are looking to learn a proven and tested strategy from yours truly, I'd love to see all of you there. Let's make this the biggest masterclass in Forex, and let's make sure that we're leading this next generation of traders down the right path. No more of this gimmick marketing, no more of just going through content for the sake of content, no more selling courses and holding back information that's really useful to the strategy. This is the future where we're trying to give out all the information to you in a very clear way, step by step, so you can recreate this success and hopefully lead that next generation. I'd like to see all of you guys there, December 3rd through the 6th, link in bio if you're interested. Second reminder, also that NAS100 class is less than 2 weeks away. Don't miss your chance. If you guys had previously registered for the NAS classes, if you have not scheduled your final review call, we want to do a call with everybody, 15 minutes just to make sure that you have everything you need. I do not want to send a bunch of people out to the markets with a strategy and have people blowing accounts and making mistakes. So it's really important for us to touch base with you before you get out there into the field. Please, please, please make sure that you guys are scheduling those final review calls. Coaching students, if you guys are doing coaching with us, make sure that you guys are scheduling your final review calls. If you still have a bunch left, don't worry. In that final review call is the trading plan. It's the full kind of breakdown of all the things that we've worked on, as well as that final review sheet that you'll get. We're going to talk about fundamentals today. I will be breaking down the PPI news as well as the early retail sales numbers that came in. And last but not least, I'll be kind of going through geopolitics, how that can affect 2024, as well as some predictions I have for what the Fed is going to do going into next year. If you guys are ready, put a number in the chat. Let's get this show on the road. And then I'll show you guys all the trades that I'm personally watching. Okay, cool. I had a great review call with Bryce. Oh, that's Walter. Walter, good to see you. Yeah, guys, shout out to Bryce, shout out to Gali, shout out to Jacob, everybody who's helping us on the core team with making sure that folks are ready to go. So huge shout out to you, Bryce, and Jacob, and Gali, and everyone making the show run. T, if you're on here, appreciate you, bro. Okay. Gabe, good to see you on here. Gali, you're flying in today, aren't you? My boy, this is the type of team that we have over here. My boy just picks up the phone, goes, "Yo, I'm flying in tomorrow." I said, "But what?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm not sure yet, but don't be surprised if you get a call from me saying, 'Yo, I'm on the way.'" I'm like, "Bro, at least give me a heads up before you fly. Write something." Boy said, "Yo, I'm
Guys,
gonna be."
that's live streams. Roy was talking reckless. He was talking about, man, this community's getting on my nerves, talking a whole lot of shit in the chats and all this stuff, talking about, I'm about to stop the streams. I'm coming for you guys. Chat
None
or
of
some
none of that
I'm
is
coming to
true.
save the shot.
This
The
is
streams will
y'all.
I will tie Roy to that chair, make sure the streams go on.
No, golly, keep going, keep going. No, hit him with it. Yeah, no, keep the fabrications coming. Y'all, Gali Faik, your number one source. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Gali Faik, FM radio, your number one source for fake news. That's what it is. The number
Yeah, the
one
mainstream.
source of fake news. None of that shit is true. I never said a single thing about this community other than I'm absolutely grateful and I love my job, which is true. I also said fuck the trolls. I might have said something about Capital Hungry, right? I might have slipped that in there just for fun. I don't know, right? No proof. Gali's not going to leak the messages. Gali.
You saying he's not going to continue unless Bentley the King gets him an interview with Alex Hormozy.
That I actually said. That was true. That actually happened, Bentley the King. All right. So you got one shot. If your next message is not, "Yo, I got you a meeting booked," you're getting gulag, Bentley the King. If your next message is not just booked, we're going to have an issue. All right, y'all. Let's get the
Bentley,
show on the road.
you get him an interview with Alex Hormozy, I will personally let you into our Discord community for life.
No. You get me a interview with Alex Hormozy. I got you a free VIP ticket to the FX Summit 2024 conference. Golly, that's how it's done.
There you go, Bentley.
Hashtag make Forex great again. Yo, y'all are spitting. See my boy Jensen in the YouTube chat. Let's go. All right, Bryce. So Jensen, your boy Bryce just gave you a shout out. All right, mad love in the chats. Smash the like button. Who else we got? We got Gabe. We got Golly, fake news. Jacob, appreciate you for all the hard work. James, we got your message loud and clear. I guarantee you'll be able to start booking those calls here pretty soon. Max, my guy outside in Canada, keeping it basically holding it down for us on the Canadian border. You feel me? We're going cross-continental. We're going international. Mo, we got our call scheduled today. I saw that on the schedule. Looking forward to that one. Noah, good stuff. Of course, Omer, ladies and gentlemen, the man, the myth, the legend, co-founder of Chart Addicts and the #1 Forex swing trader in the world. Omer Kambal is in the chat with us. We got Sam, my boy Sam. Is that Shady? Is that Sam at Qadi? All right, we got Sandra in here, and of course, we got Natalie. Great to see all of you guys this morning. Awesome stuff. Said, good morning, folks. You for real gonna stop, bro? Hell no. Guys, that was fake news. Gali is just out here trying to get you guys pissed at me because me and him have a slight little bit of controversy going on, and turning the entire group chat against me is the easiest way for him to win. So we just out here creating false propaganda and false news so that you guys can support him and you guys can start to turn on me, which is crazy. Golly, you think my people would ever turn on me after the amount of free money I'm giving out, bro? After the free money? Bentley the King says, no, hold on. Bentley the King says, guys, come on. Bentley, what the fuck does that mean, bro? He said, guys, come on. Bro, don't you go to the same gym as Alex? Just show him my YouTube channel. My shit got... Bro, go to our YouTube channel, right? You go to our YouTube channel. I'm going to show you this. You go to our YouTube channel, right? And you just show him the day in the life videos. Bro, this joint got 500,000 views. This joint got 200,000 views, right? The Q Banks joint got almost 150,000 views. This is all this year. We got 111,000 views on this one. We got 105,000 views, but we got views on the channel. Tell Alex that we got him. I'll do a day in the life with Alex that'll put him on, right? Because what I do during these day in the life videos is I bring out the best side of all these people, not this facade that they try to put on in front of everyone, but really bring out the best versions of these guys. I'm going to do the same for Alex. Don't sleep. All right? I'm going to just tell you this right now. Okay, well, so we already went through the reminders. I did the NAS100 masterclass is 2 weeks away. Obviously, link in bio. You guys got that. If you already took the masterclass, make sure to schedule your review calls. We got that. Coaching students will be reaching out to you next. Let's go through the Forex factory. And let's talk about the PPI and retail sales news that came out, as well as the CPI news for the pound. Yo, you guys know how I told you that there's going to be a massive reaction if the CPI print comes out as expected. This thing came out lower than expected. The UK went from 6.7% annualized inflation down to 4.6% in a month. Now, I haven't seen the breakdown of the numbers, which is very important. Might have to do that during this stream just to see what's going on. But here's what's very obvious for everyone to see. Look at the previous inflation rates going into this year. So in June, there was an inflation print of almost 9%. The cost of goods and services, almost 9%. First off, okay. Yep. Then we have 8% in July, and this is for the June numbers. So in June, the annualized rate was 8%. And guys, what annualized rate, when you see year over year, this is a monthly number. But what they do is they just take that monthly number and they multiply it by 12. And they get the annualized number. So then you have a steady decline month over month, but these are small declines. We went from 8.7 to 7.9. That's 8 basis points. Then you go over here. That's 11 basis points. Then you go over here. 1 basis point. No shift between August and September. Or July through August. And then no shift at all in September. And so now for the October numbers, we got a massive shift down at 4.6%. So this is going to be very important for us to recognize. The pound has been crashing as a result of high inflation. Nobody wants to hold your currency when it's losing money, when it's losing value. So instead, what we'll do is, what the pound is likely to do is have a massive recovery following this news. So I haven't checked any of the pound pairs, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to cycle through real quick and look at GU. Okay, this is on the 4 hour. And so we've seen that just because the market is anticipating this move, we've already started to see a push up. And what's likely to happen is a retest of this zone and a continuation for now. But because GBP USD mostly follows the dollar, I'm going to have to go through the rest of the GBP pairs to see if there's a similar reaction. It seems like the market's just letting off some steam, but it has to go bullish after this. It's got to go bullish in the next week or so. This doesn't make any sense. This one makes the most sense. Don't really get easier than that, does it? Bentley says, I need you to hit me up. He says, I need ammo. Bro, let him talk. F him, get back on the road. Bro, let him talk. F him, get back on the road.
I think
I
the
don't know what the
chat's
fuck. I don't even know what that's saying. I'm trying to figure out if that was English or not. Wet Willie says, get the job done, Bentley. Bro, we all relying on you. Bentley says, I need you to hit me up. For what? I need ammo. What kind of ammo you talking about, bro? What are you planning on doing to Alex, man? Relax. Time out. Time out. He said he will put on Alex Hermosi. Okay. Ba-ba-boo. DXY is offering a pullback. That's why we're seeing some reaccumulation on indices, in my honest opinion. Signed up for the masterclass, Mr. Finesser. Mr. Finesser, you might have to change your name, bro. That sounds like a scam ass name, Mr. Finesser. I don't want nobody in my masterclass with that name, bro. What up, Roy? Estes Trading, good to see you. Estes Trading has been absolutely killing it. Been tagging us on social media, posting all the results from the trades and everything that you got going on. So I appreciate that. Thank you for keeping us posted, and thank you for really just the support overall. Means a lot to me. All right, so GCAD, pretty straightforward. I still see buying momentum on all the pound pairs. So this is going to be the most obvious thing, 1.692. I don't trade GCAD. I'm probably not going to come back and check on this for months, and I'll come back and this thing will have done like this, like for a billion pips. If you guys trade GBPs, keep an eye on this for me. Just be like, yo, Roy, that trade you called hit. And I'm just going to text you back very humbly, say, I know. All right, the gold trade I called on the live stream, was it Monday? It might have been Monday or it might have been last week on Friday. This thing absolutely blasted off. It ended up running for almost 10 to 1, and it was 410 pips. An absolutely ridiculous move. Did I take the trade? No, I don't trade gold, but it is what it is. It was still a great trade idea. When I tell you guys to put a W in the chat for Gali and I'll give you a trade idea, I hope y'all learned your lesson. I'm going to do exactly as I said I would. All right, so the DXY. Oh, you're correct. We are slowly coming in for that pullback. Okay, beautiful. So you guys know my zones are absolutely perfect. The 105.6 got retested here before we ended up pushing. 103.7 is a line of defense. I think the market's going to consolidate here, grab liquidity, and then come pushing right back up. Why? Right now, the market is dumping dollars because they assume that all of the attention is going to be on stocks next year. If the Federal Reserve is not going to continue raising interest rates, if they're going to keep the interest rates higher for longer, but they're not going to go any higher than this, that means that the worst of it is over. The worst of the fear that Jerome Powell is going to send us into a massive depression is now over. We've gotten through the hump to realize that a soft landing, which is bringing down inflation while not crashing the economy, might be a possibility. I think the markets are like, okay, well, I don't want to hold dollars anymore. So let me dump this cash. Dumping cash basically means like a lot of institutions are sitting on cash, which is on the sidelines. And as soon as the market gives an opportunity, then they start to go in. So what's been happening, I believe, is that when the DXY is dropping, but you see gold and NASDAQ and S&P 500, US30 all pushing to one side, it means the dollars are ending up somewhere. The dollars are ending up in those assets. People are no longer wanting to be on the sideline because they anticipate that the market will keep going. That's very important because the consensus right now is that Jerome Powell is going to keep raising rates or that he's going to hold them higher for longer until we go into a recession. Now that the recession is seeming less and less likely, 2024 might be a banger year. It might be an absolute banger year for crypto and for stocks. So now I'm keeping my eye on this as like my bull case scenario going into next year was that the Fed had to lower interest rates. I'm starting to think that just them saying that they're not going to raise interest rates, that they're just going to keep them where they're at, that could lead to a massive market correction. That could lead to the markets going bullish. So this is a very interesting time where as long as it's not World War III, it's good news. That's how the market reacted to Ukraine and Russia originally. When Ukraine and Russia got announced, markets started crashing because the fear that it would spill over, the fear that the conflict would spill over into a larger geopolitical issue became very real. And so people started to sell off a lot of the speculative and higher duration stocks and started to buy more industrials and cyclicals. And then like 3 months later, 3 months into the fighting, we realized that Russia's got it under control. Ukraine's got it contained within their borders. This is not going to spill over into some sort of NATO conflict. We've been able to contain it. And then all of a sudden, the market started to rally immediately. Same happened with Israel-Palestine, except nowhere near as severe. People waited for a second. They're like, whoa, this is a big one, right? Because then you got G7 versus the Arab states. Then you have, the African countries coming in and picking sides. And you have Asia coming in for the help. This could spill into a larger conflict. Never mind. Not World War III. They got it contained within the borders. Again, the markets have a relief and bounce. So all these things that continue to happen will cause the markets to stop and pause to realize, like, are we going to go into a world emergency? If the answer is no, it seems to be very bullish. That's just the playbook of today. All right, we're going to go through NASDAQ in just 1 second. How did I know to buy at that level for gold? Because I'm goated. I don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what to tell you. One thing I struggle with was putting the news together, then reacting to the market. I just look, guys, most of you really have no business looking at the fundamentals or looking at news. Just fucking don't do it. Go to somebody that knows what they're doing, get the news, and keep it moving. If you want to become an economist all of a sudden, you're gonna have to commit your life to it. Not commit your whole life, but I really mean being an economist is not fun. You're playing this massive game in your head, and you're constantly moving pieces around and trying to do the mechanics of how certain actions impact the whole game, not just other parts of the economy. I just don't think that that's a game that most people are prepared to play. I don't think that that's something that most people have any business doing. So I just don't know why you would confuse yourself with it, right? What I do, putting together the news and using that to be able to find a trade idea, I hope that you guys don't understand that, like, even if I teach you fundamentals, you're not doing what I do. I am a one-of-one person. Now you guys will be like, well, Roy, I'll just learn it from someone else or whatever. Y'all, like, you got to start realizing that some people have a unique life experience and unique understanding, and they also have a unique makeup of how their brain processes information. I would say that the way that I've built my system based on my own understanding of how the markets work is very unique and very different. So don't think that just because you guys learn, the importance of CPI and how it may correlate with NASDAQ, that you're going to be able to use the news to trade. That's not how this shit works, girl. This is a fight. That's a game that I like. That's all I'm gonna say. It's the next level of this shit. But you don't need that to make money. So at that point, you're just gonna be confusing yourself, making a lot less money, and just trying to win a game that you're competing with people who dedicate their whole life to that shit. So it's just not even worth playing. Find a technical strategy, stick to rules, and if you do that, you'll make money. It's really that simple. People will be like, dude, I'm going to keep learning, and then one day I just want to learn more about fundamentals because I think that's what I'm missing. My dog, you took 89 trades yesterday. It's not the fucking news, right? You got a problem. Let's talk about that. Be like, Roy, I want to get better with my entries. I want to get better with NASDAQ. I'm gonna learn Forex. And then once I'm confident, then I'm gonna move over to NASDAQ. The fuck does Forex have to do with NASDAQ? You guys get what I'm saying? Do not confuse yourself. Roy, how do I get a hold of you or CA outside of YouTube? You can contact me at sorry, my bad. Here, let me just type it up. Put the fucking email in the chat, man. Put the email in the chat. Let these people know how to contact us, bro. I'm in 4 other crypto, but small. Awesome. There are a lot of coins that outperform BTC. What crypto should we look at? I'm heavy into Bitcoin. Isaac says there's a lot of coins that outperform. Yeah, Isaac, but that's the thing is like, are you only looking at return or are you also looking at, I want my money to be here when it's all said and done? So just because something is giving you a higher return, like Luna was offering the highest APY yields, where are they at now? In jail, right? Like just because something is giving you the highest return, typically anything that gives you a higher return by its nature has higher risk. So if you're trading in a sketchy ass market like crypto, you want to be very mindful of putting. Okay, I'm not going to give financial advice on this. I'll save this conversation for members of how I split up my personal portfolio and how I look at splitting it between risk and between potential return for those investments. What's that yellow range indicator called on TradingView? Are you talking about this one? This is just a box that I put up. This is the pre-session consolidation. I drew it from the bottom to the top. When you can understand where and when the money moves, you can better understand where certain assets will go. It's all micro and macroeconomics. More or less, yes. But macroeconomics also doesn't explain a lot of things. Like macro might tell you that macroeconomics in general follows the efficient market hypothesis. I think the efficient market hypothesis is the most outdated model that any of the social sciences use, right? The markets do not follow the efficient theory where everything comes back to some equilibrium. Okay. If you guys ever want to really dive deep into finance, go read George Soros's book. There's 2 of them that I'll recommend. One of them is The Alchemy of Finance. Okay. The second one is what was it called? The one where he talks about the theory of reflexivity. Who knows what it's called? It says economics is learning consumer behavior. Some part, yes. Look, if you guys think that people buying stuff at the stores is really running the show, you guys are not paying attention at all. Like, which one of you guys voted or which one of you guys bought the $17 trillion that they printed? Did you buy the Snickers bar that caused that? Right? You guys already bought a washing machine. You're not going to buy one anymore. Scarcity, right? Did you cause the 17 trillion to get printed? No. As much as, microeconomics plays a role, let's be completely real here. We are irrelevant in this game now. The trillions that have been printed have completely shut out the middle class. You're either poor or you're close to the money source. You either own assets or you don't. It says, Roy, look up the Keynesian model. Isaac, don't insult me, brother. Right? My boy's trying to introduce me to Keynesian economics like I'm not running a finance stream. With all due respect. Okay. And I don't, Keynesian is semi-accurate. But look, whatever happened in 2020 has completely bastardized the industry. So I'll go 2008, nothing is the same after that. The whole theory of Keynesian economics from John Maynard Keynes. This is all pre-01 tech bubble. After the tech bubble, everything changed. After the 08 financial crisis, everything changed. The whole idea of quantitative easing did not exist. All right. Now you look at what happened in 2020. Any hope that we had to go back to a normal market environment where markets were reacting to the general flow of supply and demand and was generally operating under the incentives that central banks had as their main goals. all that hope of going back to normal was completely gone in 2020. They bastardized the system to the point of no return. And this is why we're the whole world went into an inflation crisis. That's why the whole world has high rates. Whoever has their mic unmuted, let's mute it up. So this is when you're learning economics traditionally from a school, they have not really accepted the fact that nothing is the same. Why? Because your professor came from the school of Keynesian economics. Okay? And they learned this shit over 20 years or 30 years. That's the way the world worked. Efficient market hypothesis. No. Reflexivity. The markets are reflexive. Reflexivity basically means, yo, whose mic is unmuted still? Is it just me? Lurie? Who's Lurie? That's madness. Yo, if I ask y'all to mute it and you don't mute it, you're either not listening or you ignoring it. If you're not listening, why are you on the stream? How'd you get in the Zoom? Whoa. All right. It's very obvious what I'm looking at here for NASDAQ. I don't really think I need to explain this, but I will. Pre-session consolidation. Here's the Tokyo lows. You guys know the drill. Sell above the Tokyo highs, buy below the Tokyo lows, which means that I actually have this drawn slightly off. Fib it up. Here's the 886. Scale down to the smaller time frames just to make sure that I have my levels drawn accurately. Here, then we have here, here. I would actually prefer that. I'm adjusting my entry below the Tokyo lows. All right. Stop loss comfortably below the lows. And now, of course, we've had this massive push up, and then we have this consolidation right here. The market could actually blow through this area first, hit about halfway, and then recover. So if I'm not getting any rejections, what I'm going to do is I'm going to enter here at 750. Okay, the market's going to push up a little bit. I'm going to move my stops to break even. If the market smashes through for the first kind of like liquidity grab, then I'll buy it again down here at 650. And if the market just continues to push bullish, then we have another great entry and we can just keep the show rolling. All right, I'm still holding a runner from these two positions from these live streams. And you guys can see that I am taking these trades in front of you. This one, and potentially this one. And I'm just holding the runners. I'm taking partial profits and holding the runners to continue. Okay, here's the two entries still running. We have the first one down here at 175. Okay, I've closed 99% of my position. These are just runners that I have left. And then we have this trade from last Friday, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, is this Friday? No, this might have been Monday. Yeah, this is from Monday. We took that on the stream together. There was no trade as far as I can tell from... Yeah, I took no trades yesterday because didn't see anything too clear. And today we're right back at it. Oof, some part of me wants to short this thing so bad. Okay, beautiful. Yep, pretty clear to me. Sup, buddy? Good to hear you. Oh, good to have you on here, Profit for Life. What's the other book from Soros? What's the other book from Soros? It's a good question. I'm gonna have to find it. The first one is The Alchemy of Finance. It's not Soros on Soros, because that's another great book. I think it's his autobiography. Soros, reflexivity. Let me see if it actually might be from the Alchemy of Finance. Oh, the general theory of reflexivity. There we go. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. This is not for anybody. This is for this is level 10 economic shit. All right. So if you guys haven't even figured out how consumer pricing works, if you guys haven't found out the very basics of supply and demand, of central bank policy, and some of the more basic things in economics, do not open that book. All right. You're gonna read the first 3 sentences and be like like if this is economics, I quit. You might just quit trading after reading that shit. So give it a sec. The Alchemy of Finance is my favorite, though. It's the ability of the market to turn any information into this sentiment, into this buzz that happens. It's the alchemy of turning truth into this sentiment. And because of that, you can then transform whatever is happening in the real world will start to follow the sentiment. So here's an example of reflexivity. Because we're all scared of a recession, we all stop spending. Because we're all scared of this high inflation, we stop borrowing. Now, what happens when people stop spending and borrowing? We cause the very recession that we were scared was going to happen. It's reflexive. The market has a reflex. It reacts to what the sentiment is really going for. So because we're all scared, we stop doing certain things. The market then leads to a recession. And then we all get to say, oh my God, see, we were right. Right? I was right. That's reflexivity in a nutshell. Very, very basics. And I think it's brilliant because then you start to realize the basis of my news trading strategy is that a lot of people will always ask me, okay, so if there's positive news that should be positive for the US economy, how come the markets aren't reacting bullish? Very simple question I get all the time. Roy, CPI news was great. Why is the market crashing? Reflexivity. The markets know that if the economy keeps going this way, eventually Jerome Powell is going to have to get more aggressive. And so they'll short ahead of Jerome Powell's decision just because of what they think is going to happen. Now, because the markets are dropping, Jerome Powell comes in and makes a decision. And then the markets are like, see, we were right. Reflexive. Isn't that crazy? Roy, what do you think about the resistance level in the higher time frame? I was looking at that. I was looking at that earlier, right? This is a tough one. This is a tough cookie to crack. But that's why I try my best not to predict. Okay, here's what I got. Higher time frame. You pin this, move this over here, remove the drawings. Okay, so whenever you're looking at price, especially like my masterclass folks, I always say everything is in a range, and I am dead serious about that. That's the low of the range. That's the high of the range. So location-wise, are we closer to the low of the range or are we closer to the high? I'm going to answer that as a rhetorical question. We're closer to the highs. Now, because we're closer to the highs, we're getting close to an area where the market may choose to turn around. And the higher it gets, the more likely it is to hit that spot and then eventually turn around. So I want to get a quick view of how far the market has corrected so far. So I'm going to draw a Fibonacci from the very top to the bottom. And damn, I hadn't even noticed this. Shame on me. Shame on me. Wow. Double top at the 88.6. CA members, what do y'all think? Bryce said I was talking about this last night on the call. Higher time frames, 886. Bryce, you see it from a mile away, bro. Double top right here. Double top. Now, the only thing is, understandably, we're at the previous highs. But look at momentum. I've lost so much money in my life trading against the market momentum, trying to guess the highs and the reversal, as opposed to allowing the market to drop and then starting to layer into that trend. What we see here is that the market pushed up to the 88.6 the first time, and we've already had the 886 rejection. As you all know, with my strategy, the 61 is your TP1 for a reason, because if it holds support at the TP1, then it's going to continue to the upside. So I believe we've already had the 886 drop, and we're continuing that. So flag correction, bullish flag continuation. Now, because of this area right here on the higher time frames, we're very likely to get some kind of pullback before we continue. And so as we're looking to buy into this trend, we got to be mindful that this thing is getting ready to turn around here. So with that being said, fuck. No, my rule now is do not trade against the momentum. I don't care. The trend is your friend until it ends. The trend is your friend until it ends. Also, Roy's, since fucking Soros wants to make up a bunch of shit, the theory of reflexivity. I'm gonna give y'all my own theory. Y'all ready for this? This is Roy's first law of trading motion, of NASDAQ motion. Okay, y'all ready? This is for your notes. I'll just pass this around. The trend is your friend until it ends. That's the very basics. The first law of NASDAQ aerodynamics or market dynamics. Y'all ready? A trend in motion will remain in motion unless an area of structure gets broken. Boom. A trend in motion will remain in motion unless an area of structure gets broken. So if it's bullish, it's going to stay bullish until it turns around and breaks certain support levels. So right now, yes, it's at the higher time frame 886. Has it broken any levels significantly that would indicate a turnaround yet? Not yet. Okay, so until that happens, I have to assume that the trend is going to continue. So let's take a look at this. There's a potential short position here down to the entry, and then a potential long position down here. So let's see if we can actually take both of those trades. So if I risk 0.5% on this one, on the shorts, what's my return? Expected return. Stops above the wick, take profit at the entry, 1.45. So 1.5. So I'll be risking 0.5% to make 0.75%. No, it's all right. Not the best odds. You feel me? Not the best odds. For the longs, let's just actually entry is going to be here. But let's just take it up to the previous highs, be a little bit more conservative here. 3.25. So if I'm risking 0.5, I'll be making back at least 1.5%. All right, so that's $1,000 for 1.5%, which is 2,000, and has about $3,000, a little bit more. So for every 100 risked, you'll make 300. For every 1,000 risked, you'll make 3,000. That's way better odds than 0.5 for 0.75. So if you lose the 0.5, for example, but then you win the second one, you'll still be in profits. That's kind of how I look at risk. It's like a lot of people are trying to play the perfection game. You're trying to play God. It's like, no, Roy, the sells are going to be the one. No, the buys are going to be the one. And then they both lose money, right? So while they are arguing over there, right, in someone else's group chat, just trying to figure out who's smarter and who's got the crystal ball for the markets, they're both about to lose money. Well, what I can do is I can choose to take both. I can choose to take both. I can choose to take either one. I can choose to take neither. And either way, I can make money, because if I lose this one and I win this one, I'll make money. If I lose this one and I win this one, I make money. Y'all see what I'm saying? And I'm going to scale into these entries. So even if I'm wrong on the direction, I'll still find a way to make money. Oh, man, I love this game. Why you don't take a swing position there? Where at, Sky Blue? A trend in motion will remain in motion unless an area of structure gets broken. Estes, I knew you would write it down. Out of everybody who's taken the master class, I knew you would write it down. The trend is your friend only if you know when to get in. Well, Sean, that's just literally not true. The trend is your friend regardless. Now, if you enter at the wrong spot, yeah, you're gonna lose money. But that doesn't mean you didn't get you're not in the right trend. It just means you got a shit entry. But the trend is your friend regardless, whether you got a good entry or not. You think we still reach that entry point at the 886 today, or more like tomorrow? Volume is pretty low, and we're already past 10. Okay, Chris. I don't know what Chris. Do I know you? Are you a Chris that I know? I'm gonna be real with you, Chris. Spot on. That's exactly what was going through my mind. Like when a lot of people talk about the difference between having a mechanical strategy versus discretionary. Discretionary means you get to use your own discretion. You get to take things one by one and make a judgment call every time there's a decision. Mechanical means regardless of what happens, you have a step-by-step system that you follow. A lot of people, and I was just listening to the Riz podcast with Umar and Raja, and I don't know who the other two guys are. First off, one of those guys that was on that podcast, the brown dude, not Umar and Raja, the third brown dude. That guy's brilliant. If you guys can figure out who that is real quick, let me know, because that guy was spitting heat. But they were talking about the difference between intuition and having a mechanical strategy. And here's kind of what my opinion was. I was like staring at my phone, hoping I could say something. I was like, bro, Riz, let me get the same exact group of folks, but bring me on that podcast so I can explain something. There's four different modes of understanding anything. The way that your brain processes information and stores memory happens in four main phases. Okay, there is, and this I actually got from, I forgot what it was. It was an audio back in the day from some scammer, but he was spitting. Fuck, your wish is your command. Your wish is your command. Fucking, what's his name? Kevin, not Trudeau. Is it Kevin Trudeau? Something like that. Okay. He was explaining the four modes of understanding, and this actually was a massive eye opener. First, you have something called subconscious competence. That's the first layer. Subconscious competence means it's which one comes first?
It's unconscious and
Yeah, it's unconscious
first.
incompetence. So you don't know what you
Yeah.
don't know. So basically, you don't really know that you need risk management, and that the reason that you're losing in trading is because of these a few key mistakes that you're making. And so you keep going from one strategy to the next. You keep trying out different things because you're subconsciously or unconsciously incompetent of what you need to know. You just think that you're doing the right thing, but you don't know what's not on your radar. Someone said Bandman Kevo. Yeah, is that because I said scammer? That guy is literally that guy is oozing scam off of him. That guy's dripping scam off of him. The guy got the fucking surgery where you become plastic and you just like get fake muscles and shit. But all right, we'll move on from that. So unconscious incompetence. The second one is conscious incompetence. You now know what you don't know. If I told you that there are these three main things in trading that you have to learn, which is the markets, your mindset, and money management. And now you know, damn, I don't know anything about money management. You're now consciously incompetent. You know what you don't know, and you have to walk around with that all day. Damn, I really don't know a lot about that thing, but you know that you should. That's the unconscious, that's the conscious incompetence. You know what you don't know. Then you get to the next step, which is unconscious competence. Okay, you don't really know why you're doing certain things. A lot of great traders, the reason they don't teach or they can't teach is because they actually don't know how to explain what they're doing. They don't know how to sit down and be like, oh, this is why I made this decision. This is why, because they're acting off of intuition. They've seen it enough times. They've had 4 years in the game, and they're able to make those decisions on the spot. And so they're unconsciously competent. They don't really know what they know, but they just know it's working for them. The most successful people in the world that I know are unconsciously competent. Guys are complete fucking morons. They got it down right. They ain't overthinking nothing. They just know what works. They're very pragmatic, which means that they do things that have a measurable response or like a predictable response, and they crush it. The last step is conscious competence. You know what you know. I know, like, this is the step that I had to get to with NASDAQ, for example, to where I can explain why am I taking these trades? Why is the consolidation so important? Like, where does it start and where does it end? Oh my God, it's the previous two sessions. It's the Tokyo in Australia and then the Frankfurt London overlap. And then the market just uses those zones. Now I know why I've been doing certain things. When the market, does a liquidity grab and comes back in, I didn't really know why or how or the reason why I would even take a trade in that scenario. Then you realize, oh my God, it's a run on liquidity. What they're doing is they're spiking all of the buy stops above the zone. So all the hedge funds get activated into buys. And then the institutions will smash price down. Okay, now I know why certain things are happening. I can build a plan based on that competence. And so what you guys need to really get to is understanding where the flaws are, understanding what you got to do to move forward, getting very clear about why you're winning and why you're losing so you're as competent as possible. And once you're in that state, you can make more intuitive decisions as opposed to having this to follow a step-by-step mechanical system. Your ability to use your own discretion starts to get better and better the more experience you have, because your subconscious mind is building a memory bank of what's working. And then every once in a while, you get this intuition that's like, buddy, we've seen this before. Your body's trying to tell you, hey, we've seen this before. That's what's happening now to tell me to stay off the charts and, potentially not take a trade, is I'm seeing how slow the volume is. My body is telling me like, we've been here before. You know that this ain't going to lead to anything interesting. And if it does just completely melt one big candle out to the downside, I wasn't going to catch that anyways. And so there's no reason for me to feel any kind of way about that, regardless. So now that I'm at that stage where I know exactly I'm competent now, I know I could miss a trade. I'm fine with that. I know I could lose a trade. I'm fine with that. And I know the conditions that it would take for me to enter and close. There's nothing left. How can I have anxiety on the charts? How can I have anxiety putting money at risk when I know the worst case scenario is I can lose money, I can miss a trade, do nothing, or win a trade? Anxiety comes from the unknown. Y'all got me? Raymond says, Nasser Al-Yarimi. How did my dad get the answer before y'all? I gotta stop cursing. Yo, y'all say what's up to Mr. Dunya in the chat. You know what I'm saying? He be giving me a hard time. If you guys think that I get on your nerves, if y'all think that I'm wilding out in your opinion, imagine my dad be coming on these streams and imagine what he thinks. Just put yourself in his shoes for a second. You're just sitting there just like, okay, that was a good point, Roy. Oh, awesome. Oh, why is he roasting the astrology people? Oh my God. Right? I just feel like that's what's going on in my dad's head all the time. He's just like, wow, he's actually doing a great job of explaining the macroeconomics. Here, let me get some of my friends to come watch the stream. Hey, come watch the stream. And then they get on and it's just me fucking roasting Capital Hungry, just lighting him up. Just lighting him up, and him and all of his friends are just shocked. I feel like that's what's going on. Pops, I love you, but I'm gonna just keep it real with you. This is how the streams go. These are my people. I promised them I would be 100% honest and I'd be 100% myself, and I'm not gonna hold back now. AMGG said he definitely raised a G. Well, that's for damn sure. Where you're able to explain, what you know, Kiana, it's called conscious competence. And Kiana, look, I'm gonna do you a massive favor. Listen to the full audio from start to finish. The first 2-3 episodes, or the first 2-3 I would say episodes in the series, are so dry. You're not gonna learn nothing. By the time you finish those audios, something's gonna happen to you. It's not like you're going to learn something that's crazy. It's going to open up something inside of you that you already know. It's going to help you realize the power of thoughts, the power of beliefs, the power of you don't know what you don't know. Like, we always think that we have this idea of the world and everything is kind of set in its place. You can't see what's not on your radar. That's why when you get around new people and put yourself in uncomfortable situations, you grow so much, because you're literally getting completely out of your radar. That's what I feel like that book did for me. It helped me realize where my radar started and where it ended. So now I know what I don't know, right? I know that astrophysics exists, but I just know that I don't know shit about it. I know that there is that, theoretical quantum mechanics is a real concept, and it kind of helps explain the relative nature of how planets and things move around of each other. Okay, I know that, but I know where my boundaries end, right? I know I can't fucking measure the speed of the Earth. I don't know the equation. I don't know how to do the math. I know what I don't know. Y'all get me? Love that you guys are connected like that. Nasser is definitely a number 4. A number 4? What does a number 4 mean? I love that you guys are connected like that. Are you guys talking about my dad? Yeah, I mean it's years of trial and error. My pop's been trying to get me on the right path. But I'm gonna say something to a lot of people, and obviously, y'all, I understand that not everybody has the benefit of having a two-parent household, and I completely get that. But this can also apply to whatever parental guardian that you have. But a lot of people will ask, like, who's a good man to look up to? Like, who's a man in society, and who's like, where are all the great examples? Your number one answer should be your father. That should be the answer. People gotta come close second. So if you asked me like who I looked up to and I told you somebody, I'd say I really respect that guy. I'll tell you, I respect Tucker Carlson. Okay. Like one step, couple steps below my dad. I got a lot of respect for him. But do you guys see how that skill goes? Now, a lot of you guys, if you don't have the two-parent household in that situation, I completely understand. But I think we got to get to a point here where, and if you don't have that example in your life, you got to be that example for the people around you. When people say, hey, who's a good man in society today to follow? A lot of people are like, oh, I don't know, Joe Rogan. But the dude on the mushrooms on the fucking podcast with the aliens, that's the guy. This is when I knew we had a masculinity crisis, when fucking Joe Rogan and Andrew Tate became everybody's hero. That's how you know we were down bad. I know you said the theory of reflexivity is level 10. Where can one start from book-wise? Specifically on reflexivity or specifically on just in terms of economics in general? What's the episode of Rizdom? The Words of Rizdom podcast with Riz. It's the most recent one with Umar, Raja, and like the two other guys. It was 4 people on a podcast. I'll be honest, one of the best. Like, obviously, I'm biased because we have the greatest podcast in Forex history, and we have those things. They're set in stone forever. But outside of that, because I don't really enjoy a lot of the trading podcasts that come out, I'll give a massive shout out to Calvin from Forex Beginners Podcast. I think Calvin's doing a phenomenal job. But that Riz episode with all 4 of them is a master class. All right. After this, if you guys are just going on throughout your day, I highly recommend popping in an AirPod. But take notes. Take notes for sure. Cricket match between India and New Zealand. India is going to win. Please, blessing us. Okay. Cricket. That's what we're doing today. Okay. Hey, Roy, why is one pair, one session, one model so powerful? It's because you get to have a more intimate understanding of the instrument that you're trading. So when you show up at the same time every day, what will typically happen is you will be trading against either the same algorithm or the same traders every single day. Now, the beauty of that is the markets know more about us than we know about ourselves. They know where open orders are. They know how the retail mindset thinks, and they understand human psychology better than anyone. So what they do is they'll incentivize traders to make certain, they will move the markets in a very unpredictable and irrational way to induce emotional responses from the traders, and traders just mess up that way. If you show up every single day at the same time, eventually you're going to figure out their tricks. And then what you'll do is you'll show up early and stalk the market before it starts moving, as opposed to the other way around. Short positions here. I'm gonna scale in some trades. So if it goes a little bit higher, I'll scale a few more positions here. But I'm gonna enter a small position for a short right now, and then scale in the rest. Now, clearly, I'm bullish on this, and so even shorting the highs of the market still makes me feel some kind of way. Ah, damn it. The conflict. This thing could just pop off from here. But I want to see it dip back down to 15,770. Not asking for too much. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm not going to enter a full position. I will scale. That way, if the market pushes up a bit higher, I'll be able to enter a few more positions. So 10 stops, 10 points above the wick. So the wick is at 7.5. I'm going to go 85. Actually, I'll go 90. 15,990, which is going to be about 25 points above the wick from current price. 867. Oof. It's a fat stop loss. Okay. Moving it back down. 980. It's about 100 points. Bit wider than usual. Bit wider than usual. I'm going to cut that position size in half. And then if it retraces up, I'll enter more positions. But with a 100-point stop, I'm not going to enter the 10. I'll only do the 5 lot. Okay. The long position is the one that I'm really chasing here. Not chasing. Chasing in quotations. For the shorts, we're looking at 1.3 to 1. That's ugly. Okay. One pair, one session. So I hope that answered your question, Brian. Basically, you'll learn the psychology of the markets. You'll learn the psychology of the traders that you're playing against, and it'll give you a much better advantage than just showing up and being at the mercy of the markets. Now, when you have, it's like having a girlfriend or a significant other. Okay. If you have 5 girlfriends, let's say if you have 3 girlfriends, all right, so a fucking player, always on the phones, always distracted, always moving from one direction to the next, always doing all this shit. At some point, you start getting them confused. You'll start treating one of them the same way that the other one likes to be treated, just because you don't really know how they're acting that day. The other one doesn't, they like to be left alone when they're mad. And so you just leave your girl alone. And then now she's mad because she's more of a confrontational sort of person. You can't do that. You can't apply universal rules to everything. And so you can't treat NASDAQ the same way that you treat Euro USD. If Euro USD is consolidating for a long time, maybe that means that there is a massive push in one direction coming. When NASDAQ consolidates for a long time, I know there's a whipsaw coming in both directions. Completely different thing. You got to know when your girl comes in the room before she even says something, the mood that she's in. Same with NASDAQ. So if you have a bunch of different pairs, but you don't really have your finger on the pulse, it's going to be hard for you to make the best decisions, straight up. All right. Damn, I should have held the 10. The decisions we make for risk management. But this is what I had to learn is like before that decision that like, damn, I should have held the full position. Like that would have ate me up alive. And I would have been sitting here like trying to get back in. This is how I know I'm really growing as a man. I'm really growing as a trader is like, I'm not happy that I closed half the position, right? But I know why I did it. I did it, right? Again, conscious competence. I did it for risk management. And so I can't be mad that I didn't make the most amount of money because the whole reason I closed it was to reduce the risk, not to make the most amount of money. And if I've done that, then I've done my job. All right, quick mid-stream reminder that the December masterclass, this may be the last one that we do. We're kind of getting a ton of feedback already. Maybe we should have one more in 2024 just because the market cycle is going to shift and we might need a refresher. At that point, I might do like a refresher course for everyone who's already done the master class. But December 3rd through the 6th is going to be the next installment of the NASDAQ master class. If you guys want to learn how I trade, how I approach the markets, and my specific strategy from start to finish, the December masterclass is for you. Hit the link in the description. And is there a promo code? I don't believe so, no. Okay, that's the reminder. We went through the basics of GDP. This was insane, yo. This is insane. We didn't even go through the rest of the news. Producer price index core is excluding food and energy. And so the cost of consumer goods, not food and energy, which is obviously the biggest part of all of our expenses. It goes housing, food, and energy. And so everything else, like the stuff that we buy at the stores and traditional producer goods, there was no change and no rise in prices. Oof. Damn. The fuck. Empire State Manufacturing Index. This is a sentiment index. Anything above 0 is typically positive. Anything below 0 is typically negative. 9.1 from a forecast of 3.3. What the fuck are they even doing here? See, this is how I just don't trust a lot of the measures, especially the ones that come from the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. How the fuck did your economists, the Fed's economists, the smartest of the smart, were expecting a negative 3.3 in the sentiment? Who'd they even survey? Like when you're doing a forecast, ideally you would have reached out to a few people, you would have seen some numbers that would have indicated that the sentiment is lower than they thought. And then it comes out at 9.1. So they probably just like on purpose dropped it very, very low so they can beat expectations. This is what, the stocks, the major corporations on the NASDAQ do, right? They'll put out a projection of what they think that their numbers for next year are going to look like. Okay. Or what their numbers for this earnings season will look like. They'll have a very low estimate in the dirt just so they can beat expectations. And then the stock rallies. Oh my God, they beat expectations. Right. Now, the traditional PPI, so headline PPI, which is including food and energy production, dropped 0.5%. So this is good. This is another sign on top of the CPI print that we had yesterday that the inflation crisis in America is starting to get better, and maybe we're headed in the right direction. Retail sales is the biggest measure that I'm worried about today. Not worried, got my eye on. It's negative, but not as negative as we expected. This is honestly to be expected because October is okay. Look, when everyone's about to go back to school in August, what are parents spending money on? It's all the back to school gifts or all the back to school accessories and appliances and supplies. In the summer, it's vacation season. A lot of money gets spent on discretionary spending and conspicuous consumption. August comes around, before school starts, everyone's starting to get ready and they're starting to get back in the groove of things. Same as September. October, there's not a lot of holidays, just Halloween, not a lot of retail sales happening. So we typically see a decline. And then we have the seasonality start to come in for retail sales with Black Friday, Thanksgiving, and then, of course, the Christmas holidays going into next year. It's next month. And so right now, this number makes sense how we had a drop in retail sales. October, usually not the best month. So there's a seasonality aspect to that. And of course, the next 2 months, we should be seeing a rise in retail sales. Now, a rise in retail sales compared to last month doesn't really mean anything. So what we do is we'll compare the retail sales for this holiday season to the one from last year. Say, are people spending less or more than they were last year? If people are spending more than last Christmas, it means the economic situation is either better or people's sentiment is better, which is good enough. So that's what we're going to see. If everyone's losing their job around you, you're not going to go crazy on the holidays. You might make smarter decisions in that sense. Okay. He says, Ron always dropping heat. I'm going to assume you meant Roy, but it's all good. That's one of the best analogies I've ever heard about the different behaviors of price action from pair to pair. It's the personalities, man. It's the personalities. There's my girlfriends, except now I'm in a long-term committed relationship with NASDAQ. Thank you for helping me find the one. If I was still out here in the streets, no, I was a menace to these pairs back in the day. All right, that's the master class is totally worth it. My guy, Chris. Wait, Chris, you're the one that brought up that great point. You said you think that we'll still reach the entry point at 866 today? Looks like tomorrow. Yeah, 100%. Let me just agree with you there. We could just make it halfway and just keep going sideways. Awesome stuff. George says I'll be there. Good stuff. Good morning, Naveen. Oh, well, we're at the 88.6 right now from actually the Tokyo lows. I just have to redraw. This was actually from New York yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. This whole thing was New York? Oh my God, it was. I had my zones drawn all kinds of wrong. This actually might be the 88.6 right here. We had the consolidation, we had that push up, we had the correction right here, and this is the 88.6 from the Tokyo session lows. Uh-oh. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. If this is actually the 88.6, if I, if I kind of misread this and this is going to be the low of the day, I want to get out as soon as the market breaks above these highs. So if the market breaks above these highs, I'll be closing the trade. Just want to let you guys know. I might have, that doesn't mean I'm going to enter a long position, by the way, because I'll still only ever buy low and then sell high. But what I'll do is I'll just let it go and I'll allow the market to continue. May have had just a bit of a premature entry here. He said, your wish is your command is great. I agree, though. Kevin Trudeau has big scammer vibes, massive scammer vibes, bro. And the problem is that a lot of the people that put me onto him are like they scammer vibes too. So I'm just kind of like, I was turned off by it, but I went through it from start to finish, and it was profound. And maybe that's why they tried to do him dirty, because they ended up putting him to lawsuits and shit because he ended up putting some opinions in a book and they didn't like it, so they threw him in jail. Apparently he was like making claims about the food industry that just were not true. They were probably true, but they sent him to jail. And then he has that thing, the Global Information Network. I don't know. I feel like he's like him and Alex Jones are basically the same person, except one of them has some philosophical endearment. Okay. He said Microsoft still selling, Amazon the same. Yep. Google is the same. Apple is buying. Or do you constantly need to keep adapting a proven strategy over time, or can it be used with no modification for years? Nothing can be done with no modification for years. Real biggie smalls, you got one shot today. That was a good question. You just bought yourself some points. But yes, you need to constantly adapt. Now, the strategy itself, the basis of it, the way that I look at markets from discount, premium, support, resistance, that's universal. That will be hands down the thing that will be here for years and years and years to come. My strategies are always based on something of first principles, which is what do I know to be true? Now, the heartbeat model and some of the execution, 88.6, I'm sure that at some point when you all start making money and we have this masterclass gets hundreds of people, the next masterclass gets hundreds and hundreds, maybe 1,000 people, and everyone is using the same strategy, the markets are they're gonna learn. They're gonna learn pretty quick. So I wouldn't hold my breath that the 88.6 will last forever, but it's been working for me since 2020 and 2019. So I'm going to keep trading it till the wheels fall off. And if it stops working, then I'll just go back to my Forex strategy, which I know for a fact will never change. The market is not the same every year. You need to adapt over time. It's similar, but the behavior of how fast it moves and what times it moves, the markets are always spotting when too many people are making money, and when they get to that point, the market cycles shift. Specifically on economics in general, do you get to a level of eventually comprehending the George Soros stuff? Yeah, of course. But even still, like the mark of someone who really knows what they're talking about is someone who can explain something in a simple way. So if I'm able to tell you guys that like when the Fed prints money, stocks go up, I know it doesn't sound as smart as reading the first page of a macro textbook, but I guarantee that the wisdom in it is more profound than reading a whole book with a bunch of fancy words. Because the wisdom is something that you can use that we all know to be true that you can go make money with. So then just because it's hard to read the George Soros stuff, it doesn't always mean that it's right. Like what I've found is that George Soros wanted to be right so badly that he started to rig the game to make shit unnatural and about as unnatural and inorganic as things can possibly be, just to prove himself right. And a lot of very successful people will do that because they have a God complex. You see people in finance do it all the time. They get out there and they claim that there's a recession. They claim that there's a recession, and a recession doesn't hit. But they want to be right so badly that they'll go and start shorting certain stocks that they know will spook the markets and actually cause some kind of market panic. These people are evil in that sense. So this is why I always tell people, like, you need to remove your ego out of the picture if you want to be a successful trader. You can't sit there and start to feel yourself to the point where you want this philosophy to be right so bad that you're just literally wrong. You're just, whatever. Keep shit simple, yo. Keep shit simple. I'm finna close this trade. May have been premature on this. I'm going to move my stops down above this 30-minute high right here. Move this stop loss up just a little bit. Give it some breathing room here. And yeah, very clearly, y'all, this could have been the 88.6. Body to wick. 886 retest. Damn. That's on me. That's 100% on me. I don't know why when I checked it this morning and I drew my levels, I had the level drawn down here. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. What was I thinking? To be honest, I have no clue. Maybe it was before the gym, so maybe I was just tired. Microsoft is in a buy zone, squeeze mode, but it needs more time. I don't look at the individual names. Now, clearly, the performance of the top 5 names is a big driver of the index, but I believe that the market, like this specific market index, the NASDAQ, it's not following the earnings reports. It's not just following the sentiment about these specific names. It's overall sentiment about the willingness to invest in high risk, high beta, long duration stocks. So you're not betting on Apple because of this quarter's reports. You're betting on Apple because you think they're going to be the player of the next 5, 10, 20 years. And so a bet on the NASDAQ is a bet on taking risk and having a long-term approach. So that's really what I'm looking at is right now, the market's reacting to the Fed's decision the other day, saying that they don't have any intention of raising rates next year. They're going to keep it higher for longer. And I think the market is just digesting that information right now. Motherfuckers. 100% this is on me. 100% this is on me. I don't know how I missed the daily 886. Are you setting your fib to today's low of Asia? I am now. So right here, this is the Asia low. So you go from down here to the very top. 88.6. So we're at TP1 right now. So the market's either going to turn around from here. It can turn around from here. Or just keep going up and just breaking levels, which is very, very possible. The market is very likely to just smash from here because of how aggressive it is. Damn, man. Pretty blown about this one. Not because of losing, but really just because of how I missed it. And I was just being a little bit too I don't say distracted is the right word. Dumb mistake. All right. Patience pays. Give this thing a little bit of time. If it wants to reject and come back down, nice. If it doesn't, then we'll take the risk. I think you were looking at the higher time frame 88.6. No, I know I was, but that's the thing is this is too close to the 88.6. So had I wanted to take the trade, I should have waited for this thing to correct up as close to the body of this candle as possible. Like this up here is the best buying zone. What kind of difference does that make? The difference between where I got in which is basically a 1-to-1 trade. Had I got in right now, right this second, which is 1.5, and had I waited for the body of this candle, this is 2.8 to 1. The difference is huge. So if I knew that I was operating under that first model, which is that this is the 88.6, then I would have waited for much better levels to short from, like the 61 or the 38 right here. You see the difference? My dad said, I'm focusing on the chat and not the charts. Oof. Ow. Guys, pull it out. Pull out the knife quick. Damn. Said risk management mitigated the L. Always. Always, always. Yeah, I'm closing out, dude. If it wicks back down, I'll take another trade, but this one is a dud. It's $150. That's another 150. Less than 0.25% risk. Less than 0.25% risk. Damn, man. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get over this one. At least not during the stream. He said it will give a pullback. There's too much extension. Well, guys, John has the crystal ball. John said it. Guys, John said it's gonna pull back because it's up too high, so it has to pull back. John, buddy, this thing's about to rip. All right. We got played. Daily 88.6. Oh, there has to be some kind of correction. Oh, let's all pile in for shorts. Market makers are sitting there chomping at the bit saying, okay, everybody wants to, all the retail traders are loading up shorts right here. Perfect. Smash. And then maybe there's a correction. That one hurt. Yo, Roy, your dad trade with you? No, my dad has got a very busy job working at a hospital, saving lives and whatnot. So no time to trade. And he should not be wasting time with trading at all. Saving lives is way more important. He said, it's okay, man. We're all human. Vince, I appreciate you trying to console me, but no, you're human. I'm superhuman. I'm built fucking different. I was built of the same machine that they put Wolverine in the first movie, where he got out and Hugh Jackman was on the steroids and he was just out there screaming at the fucking thing. I'm from that machine. You know, the same thing they put Captain Rogers, fucking Captain America, the before and after machine. I'm from that. So speak for yourself. So I hold myself to a higher standard. All right. Now, in a real sense, you have to hold yourself to the highest standard possible. This whole thing about be compassionate with yourself and just be, you know, like, don't be so hard on yourself. I think that's one of the dumbest things that's ever been said ever. Because I'm hard on myself, the next time I get on a stream, in order to avoid making a fool out of myself, I'm going to double check the fibs from top to bottom, side to side, before I sit here and, you know, take a trade that's against the momentum. I broke the rules by counter trend trading and didn't even draw the fib to check. And I just got out premature. If this thing ends up dropping, now I would have made 5 mistakes today. All right. I'm going to hold this up. For the market outlook tonight, we'll review these trades. And it seems like, at least for now, a lot of the trades I'm taking on the short side, well, I mean, these shorts from the stream last week were good. These shorts were all right, but market hit stop loss before it even dropped. I didn't take those shorts. I took these shorts here. Those lost. The longs are making up for it. I'm still holding a long position. These longs were perfect, still holding those. This is what I'm afraid of. You guys see how there's a consolidation wedge right here, and then just it popped off? That's kind of what I'm potentially seeing right here. We got this consolidation right here. We have fake up. We had the fake down. And now we could just see this massive smash to the upside. At least clear the fucking Tokyo lows for me, baby. At least something. Maybe not. So it seems like on the short side right now, it's not worth counter trend trading until the market has broken the levels. Traders have to function at a superhuman level. Exactly. You can't just like you can scroll on Facebook Marketplace at work. Some of you guys think that you can trade by having one headphone in, and then you have the charts, but you also have work, but you also have this, and you're doing it all at the same time. That's not how this works. You gotta 100% when you're on the charts be fully focused, making the right decisions. You only get 2-3 great decisions, and then that's going to be your job. This is my third day on the stream. LOL, I love this guy. Well, TGIP, welcome to the streams. Traders have to function. I don't care how I landed on. Wall Street Kia says, I don't know how I landed in here this morning, but I'm glad I did. Well, Wall Street Kia, welcome to the live streams, brother. Or sister. I don't know. Do not come for me. It's too early for me to get canceled. All right. Wait till I get at least 100K subs, and then we can start the cancellations. B Smith said, first time watching you, I'm rocking with you already. We are superhuman. Yes, B Smith, 100%. But I'm also human. I'm superhuman because I know that I'm human. Does that make sense? I know that I'm human because I'm feeling the same emotions that everybody else is feeling on the charts. But I'm superhuman because I now have a choice using my free will that God bestowed upon me to make a better decision than what most people would make. So yeah, I'm feeling uncomfortable. I'm feeling like I want to do this and I want to do that. Maybe I shouldn't have done this. But the actions I take based on those emotions is what makes or breaks me as a trader. My dad says, unfortunately, I don't have time to trade, but always open for learning. If I miss the live, I'll watch it later. Yes, trust me, guys, he'll watch it later and I'll hear about it. He'll be like, Roy, why? Why the astrology girls? Like, what did they do? Right? I'm like, Pops, I'm going through a breakup with an astrology girl. I'm letting it rip on the stream. He's like, it's the way it is, man. You got to have people be honest with you in your life. Just like tell it to you straight up. Amazon is still selling. If it catches a big will push NAS. All right, well, John, you keep your eye on Amazon, and I'm going to keep my eye on the NASDAQ chart. So if this thing holds support and we break above this level, like if we're going to make a higher low, this thing's going to push up. So instead of watching a bunch of pairs or a bunch of individual names as part of the NAS index, you can literally just look at the NAS index. You don't need to, it really doesn't take a genius to know that the markets are bullish. It doesn't take a genius to know that this is the level to watch. And so if we violate this level, look for a higher low, this thing will continue and there'll be a buying opportunity here. If the market does a quick pullback, there's a buying opportunity here as well. So either way, this thing is bullish. It's either going to push up, retest, and pop, or it's going to come down. You got to keep trading as simple as possible. And if you're using too many corollary factors, some of the corollary factors are leading indicators, some of them are lagging, but some of them just move at the same time. It's like the same high-frequency trading bots that are monitoring the individual names are also making decisions to trade NASDAQ. Said correlation like in Forex, isn't it the same? For swing trading, yeah. But if the dollar is giving me a bearish candle on the 30, that does not mean that all the other pairs are going to give me a bullish candle on the 30. Now, for some of the pairs, there's a high correlation. Maybe it will. But for me, it's like, why not just learn a strategy that operates on a set of scenario-based decisions? Like if the market comes back down here, I'll buy it. And if the market goes up here, then I'll sell it or I'll wait for the retracement and buy it. Now you could say, well, more information is better. That's what people who trade on the 1 minute tell me. It's like, well, you just more context. You can go in there and look at really just more data. And I'm like, but if I don't need it, then is it really valuable or is it hindering my ability to keep things simple? And I don't mean like, bro, obviously, John, you can do whatever the fuck you want. And you're going to do whatever you want. But for most folks who are listening to this that are kind of weighing both options, like, yo, maybe I should be looking at the individual names. The answer is no, the fuck you do not. Your job is to learn a strategy that works. And if you're using too many corollary things, it means you don't have a good system. Straight up. Now, John, the CBOE report that comes out before, you want to look at the earnings reports from the previous weeks. You want to look at earnings expectations, tons of things that you can use as a predictive analysis. But because Amazon is now starting to push up, it means NAS is going to push up. We know NAS is going to push up, right? Unless it gets stuck here, which it kind of looks like it's doing. God, I want to re-enter this trade so bad. I trade the 1 hour and 15 minutes for clarity. Well, that's great for you, John. I really want to short this again. God damn. All right. Well, that's what patience pays. I'm not going to take another short. Instead, if this thing does follow through with this move, I'll take the loss on the chin like a man. Said I should have held it. I should have held it. It's all good. What I'll do instead is go long from this buy zone. Lessman says, do not enter, Roy. Follow the plan. This is how I know I got good people around me. Thank you, Lessman. It's a good friend. The thing is, like, I see it, bro. I see this move about to happen, but the rules are the rules. Man, Lessman trades. You're a good dude. You're a good dude. Wall Street Kia said sister. Okay, Wall Street Kia. Apologize for that first of. Welcome to the streams. Good to have you on. If this is your first stream, welcome, yo. My name is Roy Jr. In case you don't know, I'm the co-founder of Chart Addicts. We're the hosts of the FX Summit 20. We're the host of the FX Summit conference in general. The FX Summit is the largest conference for traders and investors all over the world, largest by the number of people that show up. I had some guy on Twitter arguing with me. He's like, bro, you can't just go around telling people that, like, oh, it's the biggest this and the best that. It's like, okay, what defines the biggest trading conference? Okay, so trading conference, so that's an objective description of the type of conference that it is. Okay, so that's objective. And then the biggest would mean that we had the most amount of attendees out of any other conference for traders, which we did. That's another objective fact. So now we have an objective statement here, which is that we host the biggest conference for traders in the world, which is a true statement. Just wanted to clarify that for some of these dickheads. They were saying Roy just says he's the best and he's this and that. Now I'm really just straight up saying the truth. So we host the FX Summit. Next year is going to be the 2024 conference. It's going to be in Dubai. Big announcement coming soon. I'm a full-time day trader here in Miami, Florida. Don't let that turn you off. I'm not one of them. All right. I came from traditional finance. I previously held a license. I was a broker-dealer. I was an investment advisor. I held insurance licenses. I held securities licenses to be able to trade securities on the open market on behalf of my wealthy clients, to be able to recommend specific investments, give financial advice and financial planning and everything in between. Now I'm a full-time day trader and I stream because I'm too funny. And if I was just sitting here making myself laugh for an hour and a half while I was trading, I'm gonna have a great time, but imagine I don't get to share that with the world. So I decided to do these live streams so that you guys can watch me trade in real time. But also because of my experience and knowledge with macroeconomics, I can provide some context about what's happening in the world. And I can also answer any questions related to trading, trading psychology, trading plans, macroeconomics, politics, money, and everything in between. Do you trade S&P 500 or SPX? I used to. I used to trade gold in 2019 and then SPX in 2020. And I stopped trading SPX for NASDAQ in, I believe, late 2020 and been trading it ever since. Chasimfa Sakala says, Roy, what does it take to run and own a hedge fund? Well, I'm from Broward. Well, shout out to Broward County. I'm here in North Miami, so I'm pretty close to Broward, if I'm going to be honest. Why do most traders live in Miami? They don't. A lot of scammers live in Miami. I'm getting ready to get the fuck out of here. I moved here for one reason only, which is to host the FX Summit 2023 conference. I wanted to be close to the contractors, close to the sponsors, closer to the exhibitors, and be able to deal with some of the vendors face to face, because there's a lot of moving parts there. So the only reason I moved down here was for that event. And I was going to move to Dubai this year so I can focus on the next event. But I'll be honest, the weather down here in Miami is a million times better than Dubai. Dubai's got this layer of smog everywhere. Now, don't get me wrong. Absolutely beautiful country. It's like living in a snow globe. It's like Disney World for adults, right? I love it. But I just really couldn't live there. So the reason I live here for now is because of the FX Summit conference. And let's be real, Miami is the greatest city in America. Like, everyone's going to become 100%. I've been to the coasts of LA. I've been to the Oregon Trail. I've been to Seattle. I've been to Colorado. I've been to Phoenix. I've been to Scottsdale. I've been to Dallas. I've been to New York. I've been to all of New England, up and down, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Philly. I've been to every place in America, except for the Midwest. I'm going to tell y'all right now, Miami is hands down the best. Okay? John, stop giving me the fucking stock updates, bro. Not like I've already kind of hinted at you that I don't care, and now you're kind of just like, giving me like a play by play, right? It's dope, bro, but I can, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can see what's happening on the charts. This is the only thing that matters here. If you're gonna talk about something completely different, that's fine, but like, just keep it to yourself at that point, bro. I don't know. What's your thoughts on the BOJ? I'm hearing there's some possibility of them leaving negative rates as their inflation couldn't stay below 2%. They don't have a choice but to keep negative interest rates. Like they are in by far the worst situation I've ever seen a central bank in. God damn it. Lessman, you talked me out of my fucking trade, man. Horrible. Hey, Roy, can you explain why that low to high find the 88.6 and why not the low below it? Justin, that's what the masterclass is for, brother. These like small, really technical questions, all of it gets answered in the masterclass, and I'll just literally give it to you up front, step by step on how to do it every single time. So just please do yourself a favor, get in the masterclass and never have any questions again. That's right, Dade County, baby. Yo, it is raining hard as fuck. All this thing I'm talking about Miami weather, bro. I said, I love it here. It's expensive AF, but get your TPs then. It's really not that expensive. Say Washington, D.C. is a million times more expensive. Now I'm pissed off. I'm actually pissed off now. What's the point of focusing on fundamentals if price action reflects the underlying fundamentals? If price action, because the fundamentals reflects in the higher time frame trend, not in the day-by-day market action. The market has already decided where it wants to take price. It uses news to hide its manipulation and to hide the whipsaws, because if it was to do it on a regular day, it would cause market panics, and it would, a lot of like the market participants would drive price way beyond what the market makers intended. So what they do is they use the news as a cover to drive these big price changes, because they need to make this price change happen, but they can't do it on a regular day. Now, if you're going to look at fundamental news and say, where's the trend in the direction of where the market's going, that's going to appear on the weekly and the monthly. So don't confuse the two, that news is the same as fundamentals, is the same as the market outlook. We got to wait a month for the master class. It's 2 weeks, Mr. Finesser. Relax. He says, I want to learn now. Well, a lot of y'all have been losing for 2 years, 3 years straight, blown 100 prop firm accounts. You can wait 2 weeks. I'm going to just be real. This is your first test. It's called patience. You can pass that test, then you have a much better chance of being successful at trading. The longs will be a better R&R. I mean, that's for sure. But my whole point is that I don't want to be here all day. I don't want to just be here just so I can catch trades. If I can catch the shorts and then be done for the day, I would much rather prefer that. Much prefer just getting in and out. It doesn't matter. It's just the whole point that I had the trades in. It's not like I had to make some crazy decision. I had already made the decision, and that's where a little bit of a, it don't fucking matter, y'all. This is trading, right? This is what we signed up for. It is what it is. Damn, LOL, just described my trading journey. Look, I'm going to say something that's going to piss a lot of people off, okay? Because everybody's been told in your whole life that you're a special flower and all this stuff. You're fucking not. When it comes to trading, there's human psychology, which is the 10,000-year-old biology that we all operate on. Okay? What do men want? Women are trying to figure this out. There's all this content on social media today about what do men want? Men want to have sex to procreate, to protect the species, right? So don't go around just like, killing random humans, right? Keep the species going. It's survival and then procreation. Survival means food and sex. What's the key to a man's heart? Oh, it's his stomach, right? Like, you guys are starting to see it. Institutional traders, high frequency trading firms, they understand human psychology and human biology at a sense that even you do not. If you're not aware of your own makeup, these institutions are literally just playing with you. Same with social media companies. Why am I still scrolling after 30 minutes? It's because they got you, dummy. They got you. You are that predictable. When my stop losses get hit and then the market goes my way, which doesn't really happen anymore. But when it used to, people would be like, oh, the markets are coming for me. Bro, do you think they give a fuck about your $100 account? No, you are just that predictable. So it's the same thing. if you want to, so again, I mean, Kia, I'm really not saying this to be insensitive, but for real, everybody is the same when it comes to trading. Now, when it comes to the individual reasons why we're not winning, the underlying reason for why some of these fears, like the fear of being wrong, the fear of losing money, the fear of leaving money on the table, and the fear of missing out, why are they prevalent in everyone's trading? That's for a different reason based on your own unique life experiences, because yes, at that point, you are a unique person with unique life experience. So when someone tells me, Roy, like, you're hitting it on the head, like you're explaining my thing perfectly, I feel like you're speaking to me. What it shows is that you have not really understood what trading is that we're all human. Okay, when the market goes up really fast and down really fast after it consolidates, it's trying to get the same reaction out of all of us. This fast price movement that's unpredictable causes an emotional reaction of, oh shit, something's happening. Now, when you're emotional, you cannot make a rational decision. You cannot use logic and emotion at the same time. You have to pick one. Ladies, I'm sorry. You got to pick one. Some of you men, well, most of you men today, you got to pick one. You cannot be logical and emotional. That's why emotional men are so dangerous. It's what creates the majority of the destruction in the world, is men who don't have their emotions under control. Okay? So at that point, trading is this 10,000-year-old biological meat sack that we have to be responsible for. We have neurological wiring. And if you guys really want to get deep into it, it's because your brain is meant to keep you out of danger. Stay away from like a mountain lion. So when you're in a trade and it's going against you, you get the same feeling of anxiety, that cortisol release and adrenaline release, as if there's something chasing you. The difference between fear and danger. So identifying the difference between, okay, I'm feeling this anxiety while I'm in this trade. Is there a genuine danger? Or am I just feeling the feeling of fear? So once you start to become emotionally aware, this is what I call emotional maturity. But once you become emotionally aware and you become more mature as a trader, the market can't fuck with you. That's the whole thing, is you have to start understanding yourself to such a high degree that the market cannot play with your feelings. Same with relationships. If you know yourself, people can't take advantage of you. Right? Some of y'all are lonely. You can find a girl. The girl knows that she got to give you attention. She gives you attention. She gets whatever she wants. Play on that. Now, if you don't understand that you're making decisions because of a certain thing, not because you actually like the person, because maybe you just, you got out of an old relationship, you're getting in a new one, whatever the fuck it is. Through awareness, you can recognize how you may react in high stress situations. When you're presented with a high stress situation, you will react much, much better. Does this make sense? If you guys learned something, drop a like in the chats. Said Roy keeps it a bean and I love it. I mean, someone's got to be real nowadays when it comes to societal issues, when it comes to politics, when it comes to money, when it comes to marketing. The world has completely lost its mind. A lot of people are capping, right? Real deal capping. And another real thing is, I won't do these streams if I can't speak my mind. I already told my team this, so I don't have a choice. If I start capping, if I start having to be too professional and to kind of keep it in a box, I'll stop doing these streams. So in order for me to keep doing these, I'm going to have to, I'm going to have to do it the right way. Star said, no stop loss, low risk, wait till price comes back, trade something else while you wait. If there was like a 3 things not to do with your trading, Star just listed them. Trading without a stop loss? Are you fucking stupid? And then just go low risk. Like, instead of me sacking up and taking a real trade, just go low risk. And then wait till price comes back. Now, that's the only thing there that I'll actually agree with. But then trade something else while you wait. But why do you think people keep losing money? Is because their watch list is so big, and because of the lack of patience, they'll just go trade something unrelated in the meantime instead of finding a hobby. Why the fuck would I go trade something else? I'm either going to have an opportunity or I'm not. No stop loss. Go trade something else while you wait. Don't fucking give people advice that's going to blow their accounts. How about that? This is what I love about Roy's live, so much wisdom, trading and life. Do you meditate for a calm mind? Yes, I try to early in the mornings and then late at nights. My phone blows up all fucking day, like literally all day. And at this point, I got to be the adult that I know I am and just have conversations with people like, look, y'all are not going to be able to reach me. If you want to reach me, info@chartaddictsfx.com. But I can't possibly be answering these messages all day. This shit is really getting to me. So early in the morning, I try to wake up 6 a.m. or 5:45 a.m. before everybody's awake, before the sun is up. I have peace and quiet. Nobody's bothering me. My phone's not blowing up. And that's really what I need to start setting my directive for the day with all the things that are going to be hitting me. Later at night, I do the same thing. I grind my ass off all day. As soon as people stop texting me, then I really have that mental peace. I'll turn off all stimulus. And then for the last hour of my day, really it's like 20, 30 minutes now because I'm kind of I got to work on that. And then the first 30 minutes to an hour of my morning, no phone, no sound, just staying focused. Star says hedging. But what makes you think that the majority of traders have any business hedging? Like, trade something else while you wait has got to be the worst advice I've ever heard in my life. Maybe if you're trading large amounts of capital and risking a small portion of your portfolio and know how to hedge, but only small percentage are able to do it. All right, that's too many maybes, bro. If you know how to hedge, you don't need a large amount of money. Okay. And like, yeah, I mean, bro, look, just focus on what's in front of you. I keep saying one model, one strategy, one session for a reason. And then a year from now, someone will be up and down, up and down, up and down. And then you'll be building momentum with one strategy, one model, one system. And then I'll be looking at the same friends I used to trade with, and they're just like, dude, I lost this trade because of something. Dude, I thought it would be this. And they're still saying the same shit they were saying a year ago. They have not gotten the intimate understanding of the markets that they were supposed to out of this whole 12 months of experience. So, and don't be like these people, bro. 97% of traders lose because they're doing too much. You will never beat the markets. You will never outsmart the markets. Why? Because they're paying thousands of PhDs, many, many billions of dollars a year to take your money. Using high frequency terminals, machines, you will not beat the markets or outsmart them. What you can do is simplify things and make as little decisions as you can to get the intended objective. All right. I'm up, multiple funded accounts. Price will come back. It's a strategy for those pullbacks and manipulation. Star, I don't give a fuck, bro. Stop talking to me at this point. You keep trying to justify something that I don't know, bro. Respond to any of the points that I made specifically about why that's an ineffective strategy, but don't just keep saying the same thing. That's just annoying as fuck. Maybe if you're trading large amounts, but learned a lot today, Roy. Thanks for everything. I have to head out. Good day. Take it easy, real biggie smalls. Enjoying your life, first time listening, liking your candid responses. Yeah. I mean, this is what happens when you know, there's one thing about trading. It kind of makes you a dickhead a little bit. Because when I had a job, I'm like, well, fuck, like, what if my boss finds out I said all this stuff online? Now I'm just like, fuck, I got to hold myself accountable. There's no, who's going to tell me what, you know? The people that come to us for coaching and for education, they understand that I'm a little bit, high strung. But at the same time, they're there for the actual knowledge and the value. And they know I'm going to over deliver on that side. And so even the people that are going to eventually come and learn from chart addicts, yeah, even y'all understand. Like, yeah, Roy's not here to be Mother Teresa. Roy's here to get us successful. But if that means he's going to speak his mind, he's about to speak his fucking mind. There's no way around that one. I mean, ideally, that's the goal. I have to have a certain amount of capital and risking a small percentage. I mean, yeah, that should be the goal. Your number one goal should be to have a strategy that works consistently. Because everybody wants more capital. Like, nobody's going to say, like, no, I'd rather have a smaller account unless they're scared. Correct? So we all want more capital. Why is everybody failing these funding challenges? Why are these prop firm owners getting fucking rich as shit off of fucking idiots that are failing 30 challenges. You feel me? It's because it's not about what you want. Poor people and rich people have the same goals. So it's not the fucking goal that matters. Do you have a system that can produce 5% a month with $100 account, $1,000 account, 10,000, doesn't matter. Do you have a system that actually works? The answer is yes. The question of how much capital should I have, or should I scale, or when do I know I'm ready for funding, that all gets answered. You do not ask that question when you have a strategy that works. You only ask that when you have inconsistent results. So before you think about the capital, worry about the strategy. Once you have the strategy down, everything else will fall into place. Understood? All right, y'all. I'm getting ready to head out of here. This is the slowest market movement I've ever seen. It's time to get going. Oh, MGTID, bro, read my fucking mind. It says it's 11:19 and there's no volume. I'm out. Have a great day. Thanks for the info. Right back at you. Oh, I love to see it. It's so excited for the master class. Mr. Finesser, me and you both. This next master class, I'm going to give it all. I'm giving it all. My trading plan, my step-by-step system, the whole nine. I mean, everybody in the first two classes everyone's getting the same information. Let me not sit here and pretend like someone's getting a different info. Worry about mental before all that even first. See, again, bro, why the fuck are y'all giving advice and you're stupid? Like, how? Worry about the psychology before you worry about anything else. Like, do y'all realize how stupid that is? Psychology does not matter in trading until you start trading. Until you're confronted with a decision to close or hold. Wow, if I close it, I'll make guaranteed money. But if I hold it, I might make way more. Until you're confronted with those decisions, there is no psychology in trading. There's none of it. It's just fucking moving lights on a screen. I said worry about the mental before all that. This is why most traders are losing too, is because they started off with all these things. They're like, oh, I got it. Everyone's focused on technicals. Everyone's trying to do fundamentals. I'm going to do mindset. If there's one thing that supersedes technical analysis, I would say it's risk strategy. Risk strategy, to me, is infinitely more important than anything else, because you can have a shit technical strategy, but if you have a good risk system, my God, you will make a lot of money. And you can have the best technical strategy and a rock solid mindset, my fucking Gandhi mindset, and you'll lose a lot of money if your risk management is shit. Real deal. So number one, I would say risk strategy and risk management. People don't understand what a probability is. People don't understand, like, the amount of people that come to coaching and they're using language that says that they expect to learn a strategy that does not lose. They want to have certainty. If you guys want to have certainty, go get a fucking job. You are not in trading for certainty. There is zero certainty in this game. Zero. The only thing that there is in this game, well, the certainty of the decisions you make, there's that. But the only thing that there is in this game is probability-weighted decision making. It's like that. Kiana says, why he insult the whole live like that? You're talking about me? They need to be in the masterclass ASAP. No, Rocky. Owanda 51 leverage and small account will force discipline. Wet Willie, I actually agree with that. Same with the 1 to 30 account from FTMO. It's not mainly a system. I would disagree. It's more about character behind the system. The thing is, like, your character as a man or your character as a person outside of trading is very different. You could be a great person. You could stand up for people. You could have the courage. But when it comes to making decisions of easy money and numbers just going up and down, it's such an unnatural concept that we have to reshape our understanding of the world, because you will not be confronted with any of the same dilemmas from trading that you will in the real world. You guys see what I'm getting at? All right. Thanks, mate. Always a pleasure. Can't wait for the master class. Me and you both. ASAP Rocky. Risk management will save your mind. Risk management will keep that account balance from hitting that zero. I expect a pump. Is risk strategy the same as trade management? Risk management. Yeah. So risk strategy is in terms of your money management, which is your account management, trade management, which is the decisions you make once you've already executed a trade to close, hold, modify risk, or to just do nothing. And then how you take money out of the market, or how you take profits and how you withdraw your withdrawal strategy. All of that goes into your risk system. When you're up a certain amount for the week, are you still risking from your overall balance, or are you risking from a percentage of the wins? So these are decisions that you'll make, that when you're winning or when you're losing, how do you react? Do you start to risk less when you're losing, et cetera, et cetera? SNA says you're a female, so it's normal. SNA, that's not cool. I don't know if you meant that as an insult, to think he is insulting the whole live. No, I was 100% insulting the whole live. That's just a fact. Now, is it a problem? Probably for some, but I'm not going to have you disrespecting Kiana like that, SNA. I need you to apologize. We're not going to be out here disrespecting women like that. So it's either you go or you apologize. So you're definitely not from Miami. Star, no fucking chance. This place is this is the devil's playground right here. And bro, you're really good at what you do. Straight talk, no gimmicks. Yeah, and people forgot that it's not supposed to be like a rare thing. Everyone's like, Roy, you keep it so honest, and you keep it so honest. Do you guys know why I get that as a compliment? It's because of how fucking shady the industry is. And it's really not saying much, because when I get compared, be like, yo, compared to all these courses I bought, bro, you're the most legit. Brother, with all due respect, you're comparing me to people who have never taken a live trade in their life. Marketing account gurus, marketing account heroes, fucking demo trading, fucking, experts. So when I'm being compared to like 15 pip traders who are trading on a marketing account, these scammers selling EAs and selling the next fucking scam thing, I'll pass your challenge, fast pass bullshit. When you're comparing me to these people, calling me honest is really not saying much. That's like saying that I'm honest like a fucking like a thief is honest. Like, Roy, yo, compared to that guy that just fucking scammed everybody, you're not half bad. That is not a compliment to me. You guys hear me? Be like, you're way more honest than those guys. Like, they should be in jail, but you keep it straight up, and you're transparent. It says demo trading goofies. Yes. He said, I'm locked in, Roy. I fuck with you. I fuck with you too, Wet Willie. Welcome. And yo, just a reminder, this is day 53 out of 100. We're doing 100 days of live streaming straight. No days off, Thanksgiving, Christmas, all of it. Y'all will catch me with the Santa Claus hat. I will be doing streams. It's day 53 out of 100. We got 47 days left of the year. 47 days left of this 100-day challenge. I'm going to finish this bitch off strong. All right? A lot can change for you in 100 days, people. We got 47 days left. A lot can change for you in 47 days as well. Now, there's absolutely no trades. We've been on here for 2 hours, and I have not taken any trades since I closed those shorts. So I'm going to catch all of you later. Chart Addicts members, I'll keep you posted on what's going to happen. Probably just consolidate. No, real note. Let me make y'all a what's it called? Let me make y'all a little fucking prediction here. I'm going to end up posting a chart that looks just like this later. I'm going to take a screenshot of this to say that I called it on the YouTube stream, so that later when I post the receipts of the before and after, I can say that I called this out. Some people are going to say, well, Roy, you closed that trade. You didn't actually take it. I am now admitting to all of you that I did close that trade. But this is what I'm seeing right now, and this is my prediction before we head off. All right? Take it easy. Happy and safe trading, everybody. I'm going to catch you guys every New York market open. Take it easy. Peace. End the stream. Boom. That guy better get me a fucking podcast with Alex Hormozy. That's all I know.